the cohesive unit going into our vision in general?
No, the answer is you never know, because one performance can be different to the next. For one performance, if I look at today, I think it shows the level of this competition, because we're up against a big, strong side. First half, yes, we could have done better first half. I think maybe in our possession, and I think probably once we got into the final third, we could have been a little bit more clinical. But sometimes you have to wait for the game to open out a little bit to be able to use them spaces. So for me, it's always about the ending. The ending is that we won the game. I think in the end we could have won it more comfortably with more goals. So we continue to work. At international football, you don't have the players for very long, and the squad can change from one game to the next. So, but you do the best you can in the period of time that you have.
Thank you. The gentleman right behind you, one in red.
Yeah, my name is Odefo from Ashton. Coach, my question has to do with the role being assigned to Inaki Williams. Looking at the role he has been assigned to in the Black Stars, he has played a couple of matches, about 6 of them for the Black Stars, with no goal. Comparing his performance at the Black Stars to that of Atletico Bilbao, some of us think that he's being played out of position. Do you agree or do you disagree? If yes, why? And if no, why?
No, to be perfectly honest with you, it's not a question of agreeing or disagreeing. This is a player that plays in a top league, can play in the wide area, but predominantly Inaki is a number 9. He's a centre forward. This is where he's played the large majority of his career. So for me, it's not a question. He's here because he wants to be here. He is a top player. He's found it difficult to get the goals here, and sometimes it might take a very lucky goal for him to score that gets him off the mark, and things change. But with number 9s, it's not always about scoring goals. It's about what they're prepared to give the team. And yes, he's still waiting for that goal, and we do. We'd like to think that we have good options and a good enough squad and good options in the forward areas. So I'm quite sure at some stage it will come for him.
My name is Richard Champo. Coach. Right, Richard Champo, Media General. Coach, luckily for us as a nation and you as a coach, we've not played any grade A or B side in Africa since you took over. But we seem to be struggling. When we go to the Afcon next year, January and February, we'll be playing the creme de la creme of African football. Is your team ready to compete with the top levels in African football?
Well, okay, so firstly and foremost, so my experiences so far is that the level of African football has increased. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we actually finished top of our group. So I think that's something to be very proud of. It's always about development. I think when you look at the squad that we had, I mean, even when I came in, I think we'd had 10 new players that had been introduced to the squad over the last year. So it's always a process. But I think we shouldn't take away from the fact that we also had some big players missing today. This is something that's forgotten about. And also I think we mustn't take away the fact that we actually finished top of our group in I think a tough group, and I think certainly the 2 teams that finished below us, I think are good level sides, and I think the players certainly have to be applauded for that.
Guys, the next set of questions is going to be for Captain Jordan Ibrahim Alakouri.
Fifi. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. So my question goes to Captain Jordan Ayew. At 1-0 down,
and with the supporters jeering and groaning at almost all the decisions by the players, I could see that you were trying to edge your players on. Did you genuinely believe that we could come back before the halftime period?
Good evening. To respond to your question, football sometimes doesn't go the way you want, and you can go 1-0 down, but we still have 70 minutes to play, and never have to give up. That would be my way of thinking, and I try to transfer it to the boys. And 1-0 down, I was still confident, because sometimes you struggle to get in the game, and it's a bit difficult. Things are not going your way, but you still need to keep pushing. And even before the game, I told them that even if we go 1-0 down, we need to keep pushing, because if we get the first goal, we win the game, and that's what happened. And that is football. That's the beauty of football. It's full of emotions, and we're proud that we qualified, because it wasn't easy, and the most important thing was to qualify.
Hi, Jordan. A quick question for you. My name is Fento Tahiru Fento for Joyce Post. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. If I could just ask one question each for Jordan and Coach. Jordan, you made your 91st appearance for the Black Stars today. You're joint level with John Peso now, on the 4th in the all-time list of appearances for the Black Stars with 91. When you made your debut, did you ever see yourself reaching these numbers, and how does that make you feel to be number 4 now in terms of Ghana's all-time list? And we've had some great players play for the Black Stars in the past. And my quick question for Coach, how much work remains to be done in this team before we can make a good appearance at the Afcon? The last one we got kicked out in the group stages, so people are very nervous, and the performances haven't exactly helped. How much work do you think remains in this team before we can be competitive? We have just 4 months to go.
Jordan? To respond to your first question, I'm pretty surprised. I didn't even know. So they're now telling me, so it's a proud moment, it's an achievement, and I'm still young, and I want to keep going. The national team and for club level, because I feel fit, I feel strong, and I know that I still have more years to come, and it's a blessing, to start for the national team very early, and now still have more years. It's a blessing, so it's a positive thing, and I just want to thank all the managers that were here in the past and even now, and want to thank them for that confidence, and now I need to keep going because I still have more years ahead of me.
Your brother has 114. Are you aiming to break that number?
Oh, listen, I don't think about breaking records or anything like that. I just think of keep playing my football, enjoying my football, and keep putting in performances.
Sorry guys, we don't have time. French, please.
Question the coach, how much work do you think?
Well, it's no. Oh, hello. Well, yeah. So, firstly, just regarding the question that was asked to Jordan, it is a wonderful achievement, and one thing I can guarantee you is that no player can get to them numbers without a real desire to want to represent his country. And I can tell you, probably a third of the time when he's turned up, probably had little injuries or little knocks that potentially maybe the club would have stopped him coming. So that's impossible. So it's credit to any player that gets to that level, a real desire to want to be here. As regards what work needs to be done, it's about trying to get as much progress as possible. And I go back to what I did say. One difficulty always in international football is the change of squad, and you've only got to look at this squad for today, and I think we had certainly five players that would have either been sort of close to playing or are key players that are missing from the squad. So it is about getting as much time as we can. Thankfully we have another 5 games before Afcon. We have a wonderful tournament in USA, 2 very difficult games, and it will be a real good opportunity to grow again, look at the players, and make some decisions.
Okay, so let him ask his question.
Bonjour, Jordan. Est-ce que vous êtes très satisfait de votre prestation d'aujourd'hui? Vos félicitations pour cette qualification.
Je reprends. Alors, Jordan, bonjour. Et félicitations pour cette qualification du Ghana. Et vous allez représenter votre grand frère avec le Brassard et vous venez d'être qualifié. Pour vous, c'est un honneur et êtes-vous content?
Oui, bien sûr. Toute qualification est un plaisir. C'est pas facile de se qualifier pour la CAN. Il y a des grandes équipes. Maintenant, il y a plus de petites équipes africaines. Alors, on ne crache pas sur ça, on est fiers, on est content. Et par rapport au brassard, bien sûr, c'est toujours un honneur et un plaisir de représenter son pays avec le brassard. Et j'espère que j'ai bien fait. Et de toute façon, il y a encore des cadres qui sont là devant moi. Mais moi, dès qu'on fait appel à moi, j'essaie de représenter du meilleur possible.
Ça peut être pas facile pour vous quand même.
Ah, vous savez, c'est jamais facile, tu sais. Le foot c'est compliqué, il y a beaucoup d'aléas dans le foot, c'est pas évident, mais vous savez, je continue à pousser, à persévérer. Tout n'est pas parfait, mais on continue à pousser, on continue à avancer.
Bonne chance.
Merci.
Okay, colleagues, we have a flight to catch, so sorry we need to leave you. Yeah. Thank you.